And if you do have any questions about the teacher learning community or you have technical questions, I'm here to help you out with that behind the scenes during the webinar today. Feel free to use that GoToWebinars questions box. If you submit your question through the bunny pad, through the back channel, I probably will not see it. Any questions that you do have for Jerry, use that GoToWebinars questions box and we'll hold those questions until the end. We always try to leave some time at the end for some live Q&A with our presenters. All right, now whether this is one of your first live webinars here with us at Simple K-12, if you are just getting started, or whether you've been here with us from the beginning, just so happy to be here with each and every one of you today for our Google Day of Learning and for Jerry's presentation. And it looks like it's just about time for us to officially get started. Welcome to today's webinar, Google Tools and Intro for Educators, brought to you by Simple K-12. My name is Lori, and I am here with Jerry Swiatek, and we are so excited to have all of you here with us today. Now, just a little bit about our presenter. Jerry Swiatek leads the Academy of Computer Sciences at Citrus County High School and is a former district technology specialist in Citrus County, Florida. Now, he is the founder and organizer of EdCamp Citrus, a Google Certified Innovator, Google Apps Certified Administrator, as well as a Google Education Trainer. Now, Jerry's also very involved in the EdChat movement. Each week, Jerry archives each of the EdChat discussions, making them available to educators all over the world, and he often presents at educational technology conferences across the nation. Jerry, it's a pleasure to be here with you today. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks, Lori. It's great to be here as always.
I will go ahead and pass the screen to you.
Perfect. How's everything look?
Looks great. We're good to go.
Excellent, excellent. Well, good morning, everybody. And as I always say, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy Saturday. Today, we are going to be talking about an introduction to some of the most popular Google tools that Google has available for educators. Later on today, what I'm going to share with you in this webinar is just kind of give you an overview of each of the tools that are available. So for those of you who aren't super familiar with the Google tools, or maybe your school or your district is moving to a one-to-one Chromebook initiative this fall, this is going to be a really great webinar to get you familiar with some of the tools that are going to be available to you. So I'm actually, before I start my presentation here, I'm going to actually show you a couple of things here inside of Google Slides. So I'm in a Google Slides presentation right now. And what I want to share with you, and I'll look a little bit more in depth into Google Slides in just a few moments, but before I begin my presentation, I want to show you the Present button here. So this Present button, you'll notice, has a little drop down just to the right of it. And the first thing I want to share with you about one of these Google tools, in this case Google Slides, is when I click on this drop down, you'll notice that I have a couple of options here. I can present on another screen. So if I had in my classroom a television with a Chromecast, or I was in a room that had some type of device that allows me to cast my screen to it, I can choose present on another screen there. I can also choose to present from the beginning. That's just like, if you're used to PowerPoint, that's just like hitting F5 to begin the presentation from the beginning. But what I want to show you here is this presenter view. I'm going to click on presenter view, and you'll notice a little window comes up here. Now, if I were on a dual monitor setup, I'm only on a single screen right now, but if I were on dual monitor, this presenter view would have appeared on my second screen. So this wouldn't be normally right in the middle of my presentation. You'll notice here that it shows me all of the different slides that I have and what's coming up next. Very similar to the Microsoft PowerPoint presenter view. I have a timer down here that I can pause and reset if I want to. And then I also have a tab there for speaker notes that I can add and remove from. But what I really wanted to share with you here is this tab called Audience Tools. And you'll notice here that there's something called Audience Q&A. And I'm going to demo this with you guys today. So if I click on Start New, this is going to begin my presentation. And at the very top of that presentation, you're going to see a URL. So this is a really great way in your classroom to allow students to ask questions without having to interrupt your presentation, without having to raise their hands, or if you're presenting to a large group of teachers or whatever it may be, you can use this presenter view and the Q&A section here to provide this URL. So I'm just going to minimize my presenter view, And now at any point during this presentation, if you go to this URL, goo.gl/slides/4JVWE4, that's going to bring you to a window that will allow you to enter any questions you might have. And then those questions can be voted on by the audience. And the questions with the highest number of votes appear at the very top of the list of questions. And those questions that don't get any votes will still appear, but they're going to appear a little bit lower. Really great way for your kids. I mean, how many times do we run into situations in our classroom where many kids have the same question? Here, the moment one student puts that question in there, the other students in the class can vote either thumbs up or thumbs down the relevance of that question to them. So I wanted to share that with you because I think that's a really neat and important feature to be aware of. So as Lori mentioned, we're going to talk about those intro to Google tools today. I am the lead teacher of the Academy of Computer Sciences in Citrus County, Florida. I do also I organize and I'm the founder of EdCamp Citrus. Keep an eye on Twitter for more information about that. If you've never been to an EdCamp, I would strongly suggest you go to edcamp.org to find an EdCamp near you. And the beauty thing about EdCamp is that if there aren't any near you, then it's really super simple to start your own. I do also archive the weekly Ed Chats that take place every Tuesday. You can find those at edchat.pbworks.com. And as Lori mentioned, I am a Google certified everything, innovator, trainer, apps administrator. If you have any googly type questions, follow me there on Twitter. Send me a message anytime you'd like to. I'll share my email address in just a little bit. You're welcome to contact me with any questions you might have, either related to this webinar or anything Googly related that you may run into maybe during your one-to-one Chromebook rollout this fall or anything like that. So let's talk a little bit about the tools. The first tool, actually one of the tools that I failed to mention here is sort of the one-stop shop for, this is kind of my dashboard or my portal to the world of Google tools. And this is Google Drive. And for some reason I left it out of the presentation, but Google Drive is where I start all the time. So I create my new documents from here. I can access all of my documents from here in Google Drive. And the one big differentiator between a regular consumer Google account and a Google Apps for Education, or now G Suite for Education account, is that here in Google Drive, if you are a regular consumer of Google products, you just, Joe Schmo, you've just created a Google account, you're going to have 15 gigabytes worth of storage across all of the Google tools, which includes Google Drive and Google Photos and YouTube and all of those different tools that Google has to offer. You're going to get 15 gigabytes. But when you are a G Suite for Education customer, that 15 gigabytes turns into unlimited storage across all of the Google products, assuming you're using your G Suite for Education account. And I can see that here as indicated by my school district's logo up here in the upper right hand or left hand corner, that I am signed in with my school account, which means I have unlimited storage across all of Google's products, which is amazing. I don't have to worry about flash drives anymore. I don't have to worry about, emailing myself files. If there's something that I need to work on my home computer that I've been working on at school, I just throw it up into Google Drive and immediately I have access across all of my devices, whether it's a computer, a PC, Mac, my smartphone, my tablet, my iPad, my Android tablet. It doesn't matter what device you're on. You can access all of those files and make changes to them if you have the correct app installed on your device. So this is Google Drive, and let me get back to my presentation here because I do want to continue from here. So part of Google Drive and the G Suite for Education or G Suite set of tools is a product called Google Docs. Now Google Docs is Google's answer to Microsoft Word. This is a word processing program. It is very simple. It doesn't have all of the bells and whistles that some of us or some of our students may be accustomed to in Microsoft Word, for example, or even in Pages if you're a Mac user. But what it does incredibly well. It is a very good, very full set of featured word processing program that is completely web-based. So our students can access their documents on any device, whether it is a PC, a Mac, a mobile device with the Google Docs app installed on it. They can be working on their schoolwork. They can be working on their personal writing. They can do anything they want to do from any device through Google Docs. And I'm going to get into these tools a little bit deeper in just a few moments. I just want to give you a quick overview of what I'll be looking at today. Part of the G Suite for Education, G Suite suite of products, is a presentation tool that I happen to be using right now, and it's called Google Slides. So again, you can see this is a browser-based tool built right into the browser, so I can be doing my presentations from, again, any device that has either the Google Slides app installed or any device with a browser on it, which I think is probably every device now. And I can be creating these presentations. Again, we don't get all of the bells and whistles. We don't get all of the animations and all of the transitions that we have in something like, you know, Keynote with a Mac product or PowerPoint with Microsoft. But what we get is a really featureful set of presentation tools. It's a really great way for our kids to be able to quickly and easily create slide presentations, very quickly and easily share them with the teacher, very quickly and easily turn them into Google Classroom, which I'll be talking about in just a moment. So Google Slides is Google's answer to PowerPoint and Keynote, and I'll look a little bit closer at that in just a moment as well. We also have, for all of you number crunchers out there, we have a product called Google Sheets. Now, Google Sheets is Google's answer to Microsoft Excel, or if you're on the Apple side, this would be Numbers. Again, we don't have all of the bells and whistles that we might have in Microsoft Excel, but really, who uses all of those bells and whistles anyway? Unless you are, you know, an accountant or some kind of number cruncher for a Fortune 500 billion company, most of us are using like 1/10 of all of the features available in Microsoft Excel anyway. So if we want to do simple data collection, we want to do you know, simple calculations and things, then Google Sheets is a really great way to do that. And again, available to me on any device with a browser, available to me on any mobile device with the Google Sheets app installed. So my students can be out, you know, in the field, so to speak, and they can be collecting data in a shared Google Sheet where everybody has access to, and everybody can add their data to this slide or this Sheets spreadsheet while they're out and about. Let me give you an example. I have, we happen to be very lucky in Citrus County, Florida. We have a school called the Marine Science Station. And one of the really unique things about that, and being on the Gulf Coast of Florida, is our students take a trip out to the Marine Science Station and they go out on boats into the Gulf of Mexico. And while they're out there, they are conducting research. They're doing research for the University of Florida. They're doing research for the environmental department for the state of Florida. And they're compiling all of this research into a central location, and then it gets sent off to the respective research facilities. And it's really a very unique opportunity for our students that most counties around the country just simply don't have. And what we're doing is, while these kids are out on the boat, we've actually purchased some, I believe they're Verizon MiFi, you know, little hotspots that our kids can connect their iPads, because there's no, you know, when you're 12 miles out in the Gulf of Mexico, there's no cellular signal out there. But with these MiFis, these hotspots, our students can actually use their iPads, connect them to the hotspots, and then they can use a Google form out there to collect all of their data that then compiles into a shared Google Sheet. It's really kind of awesome the way it all sort of comes together. And again, you know, boat and, you know, two boats out there, they might be separated by a mile or so collecting different data, but they're all feeding into that same Google shared spreadsheet. And it's really kind of awesome to see and to watch. And really excited that the students have that opportunity to do things like that. But those are the types of things we can do with these shared tools. I mentioned Google Forms already. Google Forms is a free tool that allows you to create things like surveys or you want to gather any data from your parents, you can create a form. I even use it for assessments in my classroom. So a lot of my tests are done right in Google Forms. And what I love about forms is when you create that survey, or you create that question and answer, you create that quiz, all of those responses are fed right back into a Google Sheet. So once they're in that spreadsheet, I can sort them, I can do whatever I want to do with them. And fairly recently, Google introduced a brand new quiz feature that will automatically grade those submissions from your students in your classroom. So you can create a multiple choice test in a Google form with pictures and with embedded video and all kinds of really awesome things. And then as soon as your students are done with that form, with that quiz, they hit submit, they immediately get a score report, if you choose to allow them to see their scores. They can see which questions they got right, which ones they got wrong. Amazing. And then for the teacher, that is all compiled into that spreadsheet, where again, we can do whatever we want to do with it. We can create graphs, we can create scoring charts, we can do all kinds of really awesome things with that. So those are Google Forms. Google Sites is a way for teachers to create websites for their classrooms, or a really simple way for kids to create websites for whatever product, maybe a presentation or some type of project they're working on in the classroom. And the great thing is, it's probably been about a year or so ago now, Google completely reworked. Actually, I think it's about a year in September. Google completely reworked Google Sites. So if you have not used Google Sites in the last, 9 or 10 months or so, I would encourage you to check it out, because it is completely different. If you're familiar with the drag and drop interfaces of things like Weebly or Wix, then you're going to be pretty familiar with the new Google Sites, because it's a lot of drag and drop, but with a lot more functionality. One of the things that the new Google Sites is lacking, that we have been clamoring for, is a way to convert our old Google Sites into the new Google Sites. And from what I understand, that conversion tool is supposed to be coming out fairly soon. So if you have any old Google Sites that you want to convert to the new sites, then keep your eyes open for that conversion tool that should be coming available soon. And then finally, before we get into a couple of demos here, Google Classroom used to be a feature that was only available to those that were G Suite for Education customers, but now Google Classroom is available to everyone. So anybody with any Google account can now join classes, they can create classes. This has become really valuable for here in the state of Florida. We have a Florida Virtual School, a huge online school. Thousands and thousands of students across the state take online classes through our Florida Virtual School. Now teachers in our Florida Virtual School can use Google Classroom even without a G Suite for Education account. And they can have all of their students that might be taking their classes across the state use Google Classroom to have a central repository for collection and all of those things that come along with it. So it's awesome news. Just as of a couple of months ago, Google Classroom is now available to everyone. And there's a lot of other Google tools that I'm not even going to touch on today, things like Gmail, Google Maps, YouTube, Expeditions, Blogger, Photos. There's so many different tools. Actually, I might show you Google Photos very quickly, but there's lots of other tools. In the Simple K-12 collection, there are lots of webinars about most of these tools. In fact, I've done a lot of webinars on many of these different tools, so I would encourage you to check that out if you are a member. So let me pop out here to Google Drive real quick. I'm going to click on the blue New button up here in the upper left-hand corner, and let's go into a Google Doc. This New button up here in the upper left is kind of your one-stop shop for creating everything new inside of your Google Drive account. So I'm going to go ahead and create a Google Doc. Just want to share with you a couple of very quick things and share with you my favorite feature of all of these Google tools that will probably be touched on later on in the day as well by the other presenters. But this is Google Docs. It looks much like any other word processing program you've ever used before. We have our menu up here at the very top. This is our title. Let me just call this, I'll just call this SK12 Demo. There we go. That quickly and easily, I've just changed my the title of my document. And one thing I want you to know, you'll notice right here where it says all changes saved in Drive. Watch what happens if I just type in a character in my document. I just press the letter M, and you'll see that it immediately saves that change. Now, this is important because how many times have we had a student tell us, oh, I was working on my document all night and my computer crashed, so I lost everything. It didn't save. Or maybe they, I guess when we're doing electronic documents, we're sort of taking away the dog ate my homework excuse, right? But what a great opportunity for our kids to work in these Google Docs, but then never lose anything. Because the moment they type anything in, it is automatically saved in Google Drive. So even if my computer crashes right now, boom, my computer just crashed, I just lost my document. Well, all I have to do now on any device, I just come back in here and I can find that document that I was just working on, and I just sorted them. Let me do last modified by me. So if I come down here, they're all in alphabetical order. So let me go down here to my, here we go. Here's my SK12 demo. I just saw, where did it go? Where did you go? There we go, there it is. See, wow, it keeps going, it keeps disappearing on me as I scroll down. Here we go, there it is. Now we've got all of them loaded up. So there is my SK12 demo saved at 10:20 a.m. So when I double click on that and go back into it, notice I didn't click on any save buttons. It just did it automatically. And that happens across all of Google's tools. The other thing that I want to share with you that is available in all of Google tools as well, that is extremely valuable to us teachers, is the revision history. The revision history keeps a running track of all of the changes made to the document. So in a moment, I'm going to show you how we share a document amongst our students, or how students share documents amongst each other. That's where this revision history comes in really powerful. So with the revision history, when my students are sharing documents with one another, how many times have we had a student come up to us and say, you know, Mr. Swiatek, we've been working on this presentation, or we've been working on this document, and little Jimmy hasn't done any of the work. It's not fair that Jimmy gets the same grade as I do. Well, guess what? Now we can use this revision history to go in, and assuming each kid is logged in as themselves, okay? I would never have, you know, you wouldn't be able to do this in an anonymous situation. But when each student is logged in with their own account, using the revision history, we can go in and see every single change that was made by any one of those students in that document. We see the time, the date and time. We also would see every student listed here with their own unique color. So in the document, everything would be color coded. So every edit that little Jimmy made, maybe Jimmy was in red, is going to show up in red here in our document. So we can see exactly how much work each one of those kids has done inside of that document. And every one of these Google tools has this revision history available to you: Google Docs, Google Slides, Google Sheets. So it's a really great way to cut down on those excuses, to cut down on those issues that could arise. Now, the other thing we run into is how many times have we assigned group work to our students, and it turns out that, you know, all of the kids, the 2 or 3 kids in the group, they all converge on one computer, and then it's always one kid doing all the work, and the other 2 were talking about the weekend, or maybe talking about the summer coming up and what they're going to do, their summer plans. We can eliminate that issue as well by using the share feature here inside of all of these Google products. So I'm going to demo it to you here in Google Docs, but I do want you to understand that that share button is also available in Google Slides. It's available in Google Sheets. It's also available in Google Forms. And it might be available in Google Sites, where you can assign editors to your Google site and they can make changes to it as well. So what I'm going to actually do here is do something that we wouldn't normally do in the classroom. I'm going to make this document available to everybody on the webinar so that you can come in and make changes and see what that looks like. But normally in a classroom situation, we would just click on in this box here for people and type in the name of the person you want to share the document with, or the email address of the person you want to share it with. assign them your permissions that you want to give them, either editing permissions or even canned comment. So you could use something like Google Docs for peer review. Your students write a paper, they write an essay, they share it with their classmate and set the permissions to canned comment. Now that second student cannot make any changes to the document. They can only leave comments in the sidebar with their suggested changes. But what I'm going to do here is actually click on Advanced, and I'm going to click on Change for who has access, and I'm going to set it up so that anyone with a link can edit the document. That's going to provide me a unique URL specifically to this document, and I'm going to go ahead and throw this in the back channel here. So those of you that are in the back channel, if you click on that link right there in the back channel chat, you will be able to access this document. And you're going to see in just a moment, people are going to start flying in here. And because I made it anonymous, people are only going to show up as anonymous animals, a moose and a wolverine. But what I want you guys to do, those of you that are connecting to it, I want you to just find a space in the document, just say hi, maybe tell us where you're from or something like that. But you can see that we have people connecting now from all over the world in this document, and everybody has their own color. Now, in this case, they have to reuse a few colors here and there because we're going to have so many people connected. You can see right now we've got 10 people in our document, 11 people, but everybody has their own unique color. In a classroom situation, your students, their initials would be up at the very top in this area right here where we see all these anonymous animals. And as they're typing, every student has their own unique color, so they're not typing over one another. And then again, using that revision history, we can go back in and see exactly what changes every one of those students made. Very, very cool stuff. So it's always fun watching the document go crazy with all the different colors and everybody typing in there. But I've done this before. I think there's a 50-person limit, I think. I've done this before in webinars and we maxed out that 50 number, and the document just goes crazy. But I do want to pop back out here. I want to show you a couple more things before we run out of time. Let me show you very quickly Google Slides. I've already shown you what Google Slides looks like in that presenter view. But again, I just wanted to share with you just the view, what it looks like when you're creating a presentation. So this is it. When you first launch Google Slides, you have the option to choose your themes. And again, we don't have all of the themes that we would normally have with something like a Microsoft PowerPoint. But if you have a favorite PowerPoint theme, you can export that slide, and then you can import that theme right here into Google Slides. So if I click on Import Theme, I can upload a PowerPoint here, and it will pull in that theme into Google Slides, and I can now apply that to my Google Slides presentation. So you're not limited to just the themes that you're given here inside of Google Slides. Now, when I make a change to a theme, that's going to change every one of my slides. One of the things that students sometimes do accidentally is when they're working in a group, they want to change just the look of their own slide. So they go into themes and they choose a theme, and then everybody in the group freaks out because all of their slides changed also. So understand that a theme is going to change the entire presentation. But you'll notice again, we have that blue share button in the upper right-hand corner. If I go to File, we have the revision history, just like we did with Google Docs. And then, of course, we have our toolbar here where we have the ability to add images and shapes and lines and all kinds of things. We do have transitions. We just don't have as many transitions. In fact, we only have 6 different transitions available here in Google Slides, as opposed to dozens available in something like PowerPoint. But you know what? In my case, in my classroom, less is more. I think a lot of times our students tend to do a little bit too much when they're working with tools like Keynote or PowerPoint. So I don't have a problem with there being less features available in Google Slides. Let me pop back out and show you again really quickly Google, whoops, I went to Google Slides again. Let me show you Google Sheets, just so you can see that it is just like Microsoft Excel, again, without all of the bells and whistles. And the one glaring difference is that this is browser-based. So I can access this on any device that I might have, with me, my computer, my smartphone, my tablet, it doesn't matter. I have the same share feature up here. If I go all the way to File, I do have the ability to download these different files. I can download it as an Excel document. I can download it as a PDF file. And because I don't have any changes here, you'll notice that my revision history is not ungrayed, but you'll see that I do have the revision history there as well. Now, last thing I do want to share with you guys, let me go back out here I want to go to Google Photos really quick because I'm just about out of time, but I do want to share with you Google Photos really quickly here. Now, Google Photos is an amazing photo storage tool. Now, not just photo storage, but you can install the Google Photos app on your phone and you can manage all of your photos. But the one thing I want to share with you about Google Photos that I think is super powerful, two things. Number one, albums. We can quickly and easily create shared albums. So we can put all of our student stuff into these shared albums and then share that with our parents. Or we can create a shared album that has and give the parents the rights to add images to these photo albums. One of the projects we like to do in class, a lot of us, is, we'll gather up baby pictures of our kids, or we'll ask our parents to send in photos of our students. We don't have to ask them to send in, paper photos anymore. Now in Google Photos, we can create a shared album, give all of our parents permission to add photos to that album, and then our parents can simply drag and drop those pictures right into the album and we have access to them instantly. But what I really love about Google Photos is if I click here in my search, you'll notice all of these faces appear. What the Google AI is doing is it's looking through all of my photos and it's picking out the pictures of all of the people that are in my photos. So for example, if I want to see all the photos of my son, I just click on the face of my son there, and now we see all of the pictures that have my son's face in them. Even all the way back, he's almost 13 now, but even all the way back when he was 4 in these photos I have here. You'll also notice that I can search by location. I just spent the week in Denver. I told you, or in Colorado. Here are a series of photos from Denver. And Google Photos does all of this automatically. It's amazing. So I would strongly encourage you to check out Google Photos, strongly encourage you to check out the rest of the webinars today because they're going to go into a lot more depth into some of these products that I just touched on very briefly with you this morning. Let me pop out of my demo there to go back here. Let me show you my contact information. Again, if you have any questions about anything at all related to Google or anything related to today's webinar, reach out to me on Twitter. Join me on Twitter. I'd love to have you as part of my personal learning network. You can find me out there as Swiatek, JSWIATEK. If you have any questions, you want to reach out to me via email, you can reach me, jerryswiatek@gmail.com, or even visit my not so updated as often as it should be blog at jerryswiatek.com. So, Lori, a lot of information in a short time. Did we have any questions about anything at all?
I love it, Jerry. Let me go ahead and pull the screen back here. Thank you so much for a wonderful presentation. We've got a few minutes left here for some live Q&A with our attendees. So let's go ahead and pull these questions up and get started. Jerry, first question came in from Maria. She said, is it possible to print a Google Doc?
Absolutely. So do I still have control, or did you take it back?
I did pull the screen back, but I'll go ahead and send it back to you. So you should see that pop up.
Perfect. Yeah, that's actually a question I get quite often. So here in Google Docs, for example, and this works the same way in Sheets and Slides and Forms even, under the File menu here, this is where you see a lot of the kind of magic that occurs. I do have the print option here. And assuming I'm on, a network in my classroom, I'll have access to all of the printers that I have installed on my computer. If you're on a mobile device, you can actually set up something called Google Cloud Print, where your students could actually print. Now, this would have to be set up by your IT staff, but students could actually print from a mobile device as well. Most IT staff don't like setting that up, though, because that would mean that kids could print anything from their mobile devices. So usually they kind of back away from that. But here is the print button right under the File menu. The other thing you can do, and I touched on it briefly in Google Sheets, but under the Download As option, you can download this document as a Word document or a PDF file or even a web page. Here in Google Docs, one of the features that I like is being able to download it as an EPUB. So now we can take this document that we've created and we can make it an ebook. So kids can put it onto a Kindle or some other e-reader device, which is kind of cool. So yeah, that was kind of a long way to answer that print question, but absolutely. I wanted to show the download as feature as well. So thank you for giving me my screen back, Lori.
Okay, great, Jerry. Let's see. Next question came in from Kim. She says, if I share a link, can students access it and edit from their phones, or do they have to have the app or account to do it? She's referring to a college class that's not using Classroom, or maybe a group of faculty for PD who do not have Classroom for on the fly.
Yeah, so you can edit from mobile devices. Now, it's not quite as simple as it is on a computer, on a PC or a Mac or even a Linux machine where it just works in the browser. On a mobile device, you do need to have the specific app installed. So if it is a Google document that they want them to edit, then they do need to have the Google Docs app installed on their device. But it's very lightweight. It is non-obtrusive. There's no, tons of notifications or anything like that. It's just an app that they can use to edit those documents. And when they're using the app on a mobile device, whether it's a smartphone, iPhone, Android phone, Android tablet, iPad, it doesn't matter. It works really, really well. And those updates are done in real time. They can even do that collaboration that we shared earlier. They can even do the live collaboration on mobile devices. It's pretty awesome. So if they're going to try to do anything on those mobile devices, they would need to have either the Google Docs, the Google Slides, or the Google Sheets app installed in order to do that.
Okay, great. Next question came in from Terry. She said, my students have been sharing their Google Docs with each other instead of doing the work themselves. Will the revision history button help me know when that happens?
Absolutely, because if little Johnny creates a document and shares it with that little troublemaker Jimmy that we talked about earlier, then when you look at the revision history, if Jimmy has turned that in as his own, but in that revision history you don't see any changes made by Jimmy, then guess what? Jimmy didn't do the work he said he did. So that revision history, that is something that I show my students the very first time I introduce any of these Google tools to my students. I show them the revision history. And I explain to them that I will see every bit of activity that has ever taken place in that document. So I work a lot with freshmen, and freshmen like to sometimes push the boundaries. So I'll always have that handful of kids who will go into a shared document, type in an inappropriate word, and then delete it right away thinking they got away with it. But then I show them that, guess what, I can see that in the revision history and you can't get away with anything. So the revision history is definitely something that would help you out in a situation like that.
Lots of questions about how to get the CEU certificates, and I know Anne was asking earlier how to get her membership to Simple K-12, so I'll go ahead and answer that now for you guys. If you see the CEU certificate on the screen, that's just a really great example of what they look like here at Simple K-12. This is a perk of our membership here. So if you are a member of Simple K-12, the CEU certificates for your clock hours, PGP points, whatever your state or district calls them, will be available within 48 hours. So I'm going to show you guys how to get those. And if you aren't a member of Simple K-12, I will show you just how easy it is to join today. So bear with me. Once you get your membership, these are the steps that you would take. You just go to view your profile, and hopefully members, you're familiar with this. Go into your transcript report. Now you will have your own transcript report, and it will log all of your on-demand webinar activity as well as your live activity for today. 48 hours after today's live event, you will see this little ribbon, and hopefully you guys can see this here on the left. I'm kind of trying to highlight it here. When you click that, you can print your certificate of completion for each webinar event. If you want to print them all at once, you can just use the date range filter and then print the entire transcript. Now, a lot of people also asking about Canva or Canvas, a really great tool. So I want to show you where all of the other training content is. Also, folks asking How do I watch this again? Do you have more Google training? I know we have a great lineup today, but I wanted to show you, once you log in, how to access all of the on-demand training from Simple K-12. So all you do is click our course catalog. Guys, thousands of trainings available at your fingertips. Our members absolutely love this. Again, if you're not a member yet, I'll show you how you can join in just a second. But guys, check this out. You will be like a kid in a candy store. Earning your CEUs has never been easier. Plus, again, going back to that PD model where, one size does not fit all. Here you can decide what you want to learn, when you want to learn it, whether it's blended learning. Maybe you want to do blogging in your classroom. Maybe you have classroom management issues. Don't we all? College and career readiness, counseling topics, differentiation, personalized learning, sweeping the country right now, digital storytelling, ESL, ELL, game-based learning. Then we get to all things Google. If you're a beginner, you might want to jump into Google Basics. You might not be able to see this, but we have 64 webinars available on Google Basics. That is 32 credit hours. Then you can jump to Google Intermediate, another 67 webinars, 34 credit hours. And if you have Google Chromebooks, keep on going, jump into that. About 20 credit hours just on using the devices, from classroom activities, managing them, everything you could want to know. And we're only on G. If you keep scrolling, you're going to go to learning theories. That's why we have things like Marzano and all of the different learning theories that are out there. Microsoft, mobile learning intermediate, personal enrichment, reading and writing. That's where we're going to get into curriculum areas, response to innovation, school safety, special ed, STEM. STEM is so hot right now. Google is definitely our hottest training topic, and STEM is right behind it. Maker spaces, coding, robotics. Guys, it is all there for you. You're going to be learning and connecting with the world's best trainers. These are the folks that come on and conduct the training for you, the same folks that charge hundreds of dollars for workshops or thousands of dollars to come into your school. I know you're going to recognize these educational rock stars. I can't even scroll through them in time, guys. This is all available for you, not to mention the Shared Resources Center, where you can browse by subject, grade level, and resource type, download activity sheets, lesson plans. If you're not a member of Simple K-12 yet, today is your day. We would love for you to join. Now, normally a membership. Now, guys, I hope you're paying attention. This is going to show you how to join today. I know a lot of those questions were coming in. When you go to our site, and Lori's going to send you a link here in a second. If you go to our site, the regular membership price is $397 for 1 year access. You do not have to pay this today. So guys, don't worry about that. But for the members that are here that have paid their membership fee already for the year, you guys know this is an incredible value. That's about the cost of a 3 or 4 day conference. And this is 24/7, 365. So a full year of access. But like I mentioned, you do not have to pay that today. So to get a price, or to not pay this, Lori is going to send you a link, and you have to have this very special link, and I'll show you exactly what to do, guys. Now, as I mentioned, you're going to get all of the live upcoming webinars, 500 live webinars a year. You're going to get all of the on-demand CEU certificates, 24/7, 365. You're going to have access to the Shared Resources Center, the trainer. Now, again, normally one of our discounts takes it down to $297. This is great for friends and family, things like that. You're not even going to pay that today, guys. We have a triple discount for you, taking it down to $197. That's $200 off. And then our final triple discount price, just $177. But guys, you can only get this if you have the special link that Lori gave us. And what, Lori? The coupon?
There's a coupon code today.
Coupon code? Okay, I don't think the coupon works with this offer because it's already low. But we can try it out. Someone wrote in about a coupon code. We have our friends and family event going on. I don't think this is going to work, but we can try it. Wow. Is that supposed to happen? $30 off. All right. Well, it seems to be working. Okay. So a triple plus a discount. So, all right. Sorry. Let's go back here. It looks like our friends and family discount is working on top of the webinar discount. I don't know how long this will be working. The coupon code is family. Normally, let's see if I do it again. What happens? No, okay, just 30. Now I'm getting greedy. Okay, guys, go ahead. I can't promise how long that coupon code's going to be working, only because I know it's supposed to be taking it off of the 297, but it is working on the 177. Let's try the 2-year option. Let's see if it works there. It does not work there. So it looks like it's only working if you want the 1-year option. Maybe they've turned it off because they found out that it's working. Nope, it's still working. Okay, so it's working on the 1-year option. Hey, I say take advantage of it. If there's a tech glitch, that's on our end. I think you guys should totally take advantage of that. Normally 177. If you go into the 1-year, I'm gonna keep trying this. Looks like the $30 is coming up. Okay, guys, this is a no-brainer for 147. Yeah, that is, you can't get any sort of professional development for that price. That's 1 year access to absolutely everything, $147. So Lori's going to send you the link. Again, I don't want to, say anything incorrectly. So what I will have to say is that the price for today is $177. So that will be available until midnight. It appears that there is a glitch with our friends and family coupon. It is working on the $177 price. But we cannot guarantee that. So that seems to be some sort of tech glitch. I know once the orders start coming in, our tech team is probably going to get some sort of notification. It is a Saturday. I'm not sure if they'll be working or catching it, but Lori's going to keep an eye on that. If you buy now, it looks like the $30 is still coming off. The coupon code is family. So guys, family, what's most important to us, it's part of our friends and family deal. That does seem to be working on the 1-year option. It's not working on the 2-year option. So 1 year, just $147 if you use that coupon code family. Guys, don't feel bad. Someone asks, is it cheating if I use it? No, it's not cheating. It's working. That's on our end. You should not feel bad about it. You should feel great that you're getting a good deal. Will the 147 be valid until midnight tonight? I can't say that, guys, because it really should be 177. That is the discount that we're offering for the webinar, and it will expire at midnight tonight. But it does appear that the coupon code family is working, so you guys are getting an incredible value on this. Now, I want to talk to you a little bit about something. If you love today's webinar events and you want to come back for more, you have to have your membership, because normally these events are members only. If you want access to over 1,000 videos on demand to watch at your leisure, you have to have this membership. If you want to connect with 800,000 other teachers just like you who are in your same shoes every single day, we're all in this together. We stay up late, we wake up early, we're grading papers during ballet practice. Guys, this is a community of educators dedicated to helping each other. Sometimes we're going to be at a high in our career, sometimes we're going to be at a low, and we're going to need a helping hand. And that's what Simple K-12 is all about. We've all been to a boring professional development seminar before. Irrelevant, not engaging. It's not something that we can put into our classroom, but Simple K-12 is here for teachers, by teachers, made for you. And don't forget the certificates of completion. But guys, I want to point something out, because if you're joining us today because this event went viral on Facebook or a friend told you about us, you might not know too much about Simple K-12. We've been in business for over 35 years. We're the world's largest provider of online professional development. We serve more than 1 million teachers all around the world. We work with schools, states, teachers from literally over 120 countries. And guys, we offer a 45-day, 100% money-back guarantee. I don't want you to say that you like Simple K-12. I don't even want you to say that you love Simple K-12. We want you to say that Simple K-12 is hands down the best professional development experience you have ever had as a teacher. And if you can't say that, we will give you your money back, because this is an investment in yourself. That's what professional development is: learning, growing, and sharing, becoming a better version of you. And really, for me, it's all about staying motivated. Sometimes it is tough, especially this time of the year. It can be rough, guys. We've all been there, but your peers are going to be there to lift you up, encourage you, give you ideas. And I got to go check to make sure this coupon code is still working, because I can't even believe that it is $147, guys. You probably have not seen this price before. You probably won't see it again. I do see that the orders are coming in, so the coupon is working. Matthew just joined, Rodney just joined, Sarah just joined, Jasmine joined, Scott joined, Julie joined, Mark joined, Troy joined. The coupon code is working. DJ joined, Sarah joined, Michael joined, Linda, Lisa, Rich. Guys, this coupon code is working. I don't know how long it will be working for. You have to have this special link. I'll put it up on the screen. Take a picture of it. simpleK12.com/Google webinar. The code is still working, yes. How will I know if the code works? Well, when you type in the word family, it will take $30 off. Now, if the code stops working, guys, I want to point out $177 is an incredible value for absolutely everything you get. You cannot find this type of professional development anywhere close to this cost. You are joining a network of teachers that are all going to be there for you 24/7. Now, I'm just scrolling through. The coupon code is working. I'm getting notifications on my cell phone about all the orders that are coming through. It's working. You can grab that. Just go to this link, add family. For some reason, it's only working on the 1 year. There's definitely some sort of tech glitch. Let's see here. All right, I did just get a text from our tech team. They asked if there was something wrong with the webinar pricing. I'm not going to answer them yet. I'm going to, I'll answer them once the next webinar starts. So guys, you have about 10 minutes. I'm going to hold off to text them back until after I kick off the next webinar. So you're going to have a little bit more time to scoop up that. Again, you're getting not only a triple discount, but if you apply the word family at checkout, you're going to take an extra $30 off. I got to go start up the next webinar event, and I'll see you soon.